how to hear. So I kindly ask everyone to mute themselves. If you have any questions at any point in time, do ask them in the chat, and we'll try to address them in the Q&A afterwards. So as I said, please add your company name so we know who we're addressing into your Zoom name. We'll be also taking a photo in approximately 10 minutes so we can have a proof that we all have met, and we can also report to the European Commission. So my name is Alexander. I'm an innovation manager at F-Success, and I'll be leading this webinar and be serving as a moderator in between sessions. So let's begin. So this is the agenda for today. Sorry, this is the agenda for today, with me taking the first turn introducing you to Project Reach. After that, my colleague Leire from Zabala will run you through the open call and all the little details that you need to know. After that, we have Mathis from Nubila, who will be presenting the Reach toolbox, which is basically the set of software and tools available for the applicants as well as the selected startups. We'll be joining by Birol afterwards from Migros as one of our data providers, showcasing their challenge and the data set. After that, we'll have Vincenzo as an Idea 75 data provider and doing the same thing as Migros. Afterwards, we have Oscar Marco, a CEO from Cropped and a Reach Round 1 winner, sharing his experiences and giving you insights how to reach basically the state of a winner. And afterwards, we'll close with a 30-minute Q&A where we will try to answer all of your questions. So 30 minutes will be capped because it will be a pretty long webinar. And for any remaining questions, please reach out via email and we'll promptly answer those. So the story behind Reach. Recently, we're seeing in the EU ecosystem as well as from the European Commission that there is a greater push towards data access and the topics of data sharing, security, the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and setting of an environment of trust. This has led to a creation of a concept called data value chains, where companies are looking forward to larger scale deployment of their products and services and exploiting this data. As a result of both these things, there is a need for a holistic support for data-driven innovations and experiments with secure and privacy-aware analytics solutions. So I mentioned data value chain. So what is a data value chain? It represents a multi-stakeholder data workflow whereby applying data analytics, both data and solution provider reciprocally benefit through a joint exploitation models. So Reach Incubator came out of this, and we are a second generation data incubator that is built on the successful efforts of EDI that has closed last year. We want to reconnect or connect data corporations, digital innovation hubs, startups, and SMEs in order to enable the development of these DVCs based on industrial and private data. So over the period of 3 years, we'll incubate and coach over 100 data-driven SMEs and startups via 3 11-month incubation programs. During this time, we'll distribute 3.5 million euros in equity-free funding to SMEs, which means 120,000 euros per organization. And I forgot to say up to 120,000 euros per organization. So the organizations behind Reach Incubator are the following. So we have CEA in the top left corner. as a French research institute. And then we have Zabala, a Spanish SME that has experience in supporting innovation and management of research and development projects. We have SME F6S as a largest community of startups in the world. We have University of Deusto, a private university from Spain. We have S-Band, a business angels network located in Estonia. We have ITI, a leading institution from Spain focusing on informatics, telematics, and telecommunication. We have CERT as the largest research center from Greece, focusing on research, development, and innovation. We have Nubila, a data privacy solution provider. We have Brightpixel, a company builder studio from Portugal, and a VC as well. And we have Systematic Paris region, a cluster coming from Paris, supporting us with their network and ecosystem. So together, we compose Reach Incubator. So to jump in, benefits for startups and SMEs coming from 120,000 euros in equity-free funding, access to large corporations and their data sets, availability of Root toolbox software and infrastructure, access to private investment, pitching events and conferences, digital business skills via mentorships and online webinars, and visibility. So 3 ways to apply, which we will hear in a little bit from my colleague later, with theme-driven coming from digital innovation hubs, the challenges coming from digital innovation hubs, ready-made challenges coming from data providers, and free choice option to apply with you bringing your own data provider. So the timeline, as you see, we have split the timeline into several phases. With the first one, well, we are currently here in the open call. Then the evaluation selection lasts for 1 month, where we, in cooperation with the external independent evaluators, evaluate your applications. We select 30 teams to over a 2-month period to develop their ideas and to conceptualize better their experiments and what they're trying to do. For this phase, they will receive 5,000 euros. Then the experiment stage, at the end of the explore stage, there is a datathon that will either happen in Paris or online, where we'll all meet and the startups will pitch to win their opportunity to join the experiment stage, where around 10 startups will join for a 4-month product development and realization phase, where they will experiment with their solutions and work closely hand in hand with the data providers. For this phase, you will receive 80,000 euros, and there will be a final event, which will most likely happen in Spain, in Deusto University, where again, you will be pitching for an opportunity to reach the evolve phase. So in the evolve phase is a 2-month period where the idea is that you guys launch your solution, seek for investments, attend various conferences, for which you will receive additional 15,000 euros. The winner of all of these phases will be rewarded 20,000 euros. And this year it was done at the Slush conferences, where Oscar Marco has won, has cropped the first prize. The expose phase, which you see at the end, will coincide with the experiment stage, where you will be seeking funds if that is your strategy. So we have quite a bit of data providers supporting us with their own challenges and data sets, as well as digital innovation hubs, providing their DVC teams according to which you can apply to. When it comes to themes, the challenge sectors, and here are the ones that our data providers and digital innovation hubs are covering. So important dates to note. There will be a second open call webinar, same as this one, happening on the 20th of January. If you want, you can sign up. Alternatively, the deadline that you should keep in mind is the 22nd of February. What we do recommend is not to wait until the last moment, but try to apply earlier. If you have any questions, do reach out to opencall@reachincubator.eu. We could even connect you with the data provider of your interest if you have any particular questions. So if you want to stay in tune with us, we have a newsletter as well, circulating, informing of everything that is going on. So I invite you to scan the QR code and sign up. So I'll hold on for a few seconds more if anyone wants to do that now. So to recap, we have closed the round one with 32 startups have competed. And it was great to see everyone working so closely with data providers as well as competing and pitching so fiercely. Unfortunately, there can only be one, as the Highlander says. Yeah, so this is just a brief recap of what was going on in our previous round. So our final aim and the aim of Reach Incubator is to demonstrate that the data silos can be broken by enabling a multi-stakeholder, cross-sectorial collaboration to boost data-fueled sustainable solutions. So as you see, it is all around data value chains, multiple stakeholders, exploitation of data, and co-collaboration. So I kindly ask everyone to turn on their camera so we can briefly take a screenshot of, and then we'll continue to open call. So I need to go into Zoom. Or Elena, can you see everyone?
No.
Okay, then I need to stop sharing, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Excellent.
Let me just try to, okay.
Beautiful faces, everyone. So optimistic. It's great to see. Looking forward to seeing your application soon. Elena, let us know.
Okay, done.
All right.
We're ready.
So we're ready to take a photo, or you wanna?
No, we took a photo, Alec.
Okay, great, cool. So I'm inviting Leire to speak more about the open call and lead us through the application process, please. Take it away.
Okay, thank you, Alex. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay. We can see the screen, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So welcome everyone to this first info webinar of the second open call of REACH. I'm Leira Sorena from Zabala Innovation, and I'm the call manager of REACH project. My presentation will be more focused on how to follow the application process to apply. And now I'm going to switch off my camera now so that all can focus on the presentation. Okay. Okay, so in this presentation, we will be providing a little bit more practical information about the open call preparation and how to apply. The main topics that we will be covering are the submission of the proposal, the eligibility, and then we will go through the evaluation process and the results communication. Okay, the submission. Alex has already described this a little bit, The funnel approach is one of our main categories in the REACH project. So if the small and medium enterprises or startups are selected, you will start our incubation round, which has 4 stages: explore, experiment, evolve, and expose. Now we are here in the open call stage, and this is what we are going to focus on. Okay, the first step is very simple, but very important. The first step is to read the guidelines, okay, and the frequent asked questions. These both are available in our website. And it's very important because all the information about the call and the project is described there. Of course, we are open to solve any doubt you may have, and we have also a mailbox for that, but please read the guidelines because we usually find that we are having questions which are very linked with which is described in the guidelines. So if you just read them, it's really easy to have the answer and you don't have to wait to our answer on the official channel. Okay, after having read the guidelines and the frequent asked questions, the second step is to choose a track to participate. Alec has already introduced you that we have 2 ways of participation. All of them are available in the REACH website. The first one is the scene driven, which is track 1. The second one is ready-made, and then we have free choice, track 3. What we have in scene driven, the consortium has collaborated with the 6 digital innovation hubs that we have by this time on board in the project to define some cross-sectoral data value chains to be tackled by the participants. Then under the ready-made track, what we have is a set of challenges that have been already defined by our REACH data providers according with the needs they have detected in the market. And then under the free choice option, the small or medium enterprise or startup will apply together with their own data provider. At least we need one data provider, and they will jointly propose a novel challenge regarding data value chains to be solved. Okay, so what if I have select scene driven, which is the first option? The first thing is to choose the data value chain, theme, and a challenge within each theme. You have here in the REACH website a description of all the themes which are available for this second open call. We have also provided you with some data sets that you could be using to approach these challenges. They are available in the REACH data catalog, or even we will give you the opportunity to use datasets you bring. These datasets can be datasets you own. You can be bringing your data provider, or you can even use open data you will find around. Well, very important is that it's not always necessary to use a combination of datasets to demonstrate the DVC in the experimentation, but we want to give you this option. Another important thing is that 50% of the applicants that we will be selecting for the theme driven will be using datasets from the data catalog. Okay. Then for the second track, ready-made, the first thing you have to do is to select this time a challenge from the data catalog. These challenges are identified under the track ready-made, and they are available in the following link. As you will see, all the challenges are specific. So please don't get out of the challenges because the data providers are interested in solutions or technology to be solving the problems they have. The use of different sectors of files to create this cross-sectoral data value chain is encouraged too. And in particular, you are encouraged to combine the data sets available in the data catalog with others from other sectors, for example, open data or whatever. You will be having full access of the datasets only if you are selected and if you enter the incubation. At this stage, we are only giving you access to the sample data, but not to the full data. Okay. Okay, the last way of participation is the free choice track. Here, we don't have predefined anything. You are encouraged to define novel DVCs by bringing your own data provider. So here you will be applying together with your own data provider, at least we need one. as said before. You will be proposing a joint challenge to be solved. Very important. The data provider must be the owner of the data. If you apply to this track together with the application form, it will be necessary to complete a Google form for the data provider, where they answer some questions about the property of the data, type of data, GDPR, and so on. Okay, so applicants here in this track are encouraged to combine data sets from different sectors. So you can use data sets provided by the data provider you are bringing to the project. You can also use some data sets available in our data catalog, or you can even use some external data sets which are not included here. For example, the open data. Okay, but please, it's very important that the applicant has the access in processing rights to the data in compliance with the data protection regulation. And it's very important also that you have the permissions to include them in a commercial solution. Okay, in this case, 10% of the selected experiment will be cross-sector. Okay, so what if I bring my own data provider? This is an option that we have in track 1 and track 3. First thing is to register the data provider in the application form. And as I said before, there is a specific form for the data provider, which is linked to the application form that the startup is going to fulfill. Then it's very important to take into account that along the months of February, March, which is when the evaluation is going to be conducted, the data provider has to sign a memorandum of understanding. And then if the startup progresses and enters the incubation, the data provider is committing to participate in some meetings and events related to the project where the companies present their solution and what they are developing. Okay, so here we have a summary with some considerations to take into account. For the theme-driven category, we are expecting to have a maximum of 40% of the proposals. The same for the ready-made. And then at the free choice track, 20% of experiments, of proposals are expected to be found. As we have been highlighting, we are giving a lot of value to cross-sectoral experiments. So to prioritize these DVCs, we expect that at least 40% of the total selected proposals have to combine datasets from at least 2 different sectors. Okay, so then once you have read the guidelines, check the frequent asked questions, and select the way to apply, what is next? The next thing is to submit the proposal. For that, you should go to the X6S platform and complete the information in the proposal. Important, the submission of the proposal has to be done before February 22nd, okay? Okay, proposal preparation. So what is this about? There are three main points that we have to take into account and consider, okay? First, we have an online form that needs to be submitted to the F6S platform. It's short, but we need you to take some time to duly complete it. For that, it's necessary that you register in the platform if you have not done it yet, and go through the different sections, okay? We can see here, okay? In the application form, sorry, in the application form, you will see that there are some sections. There is a section for the challenge. There is also a section for the technical propose. Then there is a section for the business, the market and growth strategy. And within this section, there is an Excel file where we are asking information about the company and some financial information. Please, it's mandatory to complete this Excel file and upload it again in the platform, okay? Please don't forget to submit this document as it's very important for us to have this data. And last, there is also a section for the team where you will have the opportunity to present the people behind the proposal, and there is some administrative staff section where you have to complete with some information regarding the company badge number and legal information, okay? Then there is a declaration of honor. It's easily completed in the application form. And in this declaration, you are basically saying that you fulfill the criteria to participate, and you declare your company as a small and medium enterprise or a startup. Okay, and the third thing that is only applicable when you are bringing your own data provider for track 1 and track 3. Okay, it's mandatory to complete the data provider description form. Okay, eligibility. I'm eligible to participate. So being eligible means that you can be legally selected to be part of the incubation program. You may have a technical proposal, but if you don't comply with the rules of the eligibility criteria, we will not be able to find you. Sorry for that, but it's very important and it's crucial. So this is why it's very important that you make sure that you comply with all the eligibility criteria. Okay, now we will go over it of the criteria. Okay, first thing, proposals must be submitted in English. This is the official language. There is no other option. Secondly, there is a program to address startups and small and medium enterprises. We cannot fund individuals or large companies, universities neither. Third thing, these companies need to be established in eligible countries in Europe, being them member states of the European Union, overseas countries and territories, some Horizon 2020 associated countries, and UK is also eligible, okay, for this open call. Also, in the guidelines for applicants, we include some links where you can double check about your eligibility regarding the establishment of your company. Okay, we are looking for original work, so please do not copy paste. It's also important to use data sets in our data catalog and also associated to our challenge. But you are also open, as we have said before, to complete the use of these datasets with some other from other sources. It's important to clearly justify the selected challenge, okay? Another important issue is that there is a sibling project, okay, the U4Trust project, and we will need to double check with them if the proposals have not been funded by them, because it's not possible to be funding the same proposals for this project. Okay, another important thing is that it's not possible to have multiple submissions from the same company, so only one proposal per applicant will be evaluated. In that case, is that we have multiple submissions, only the last proposal submitted by the company will be evaluated. So the rest will be declared as non-eligible. Okay, the use of data tools is required also in the projects. And then important, please fill in the proposal with valid information at the F6S platform. Okay, evaluation and results. In the evaluation, the first thing we do with the proposals is to check the eligibility, and only those proposals that are eligible will enter the evaluation. Okay, then attraction indicators control is conducted. So based on the answers given in the F6S platform, we automatically sort the proposals following our internal red flags. These red flags are not public now. They will be public after the third and last call of proposals. These red flags are set according to the applicant profile, and depending on if you are an early stage or established company, they are different, okay? Once we have selected the proposals that are eligible and the traction control is done, we proceed to the remote evaluation. For this process, we count with external evaluators. They are experts in big data tools for the technical part, and we have experts in business. Okay. Then, very important, it's mandatory to have at least 3 points on each criteria and at least 12 in total. Okay, the opinion of the data provider not being decisive is important too, because with their opinion, we can see if the proposal fits or not with the challenge they have proposed, as the participants will have to work in hand with the data provider in the development of the solution and may establish future commercial relationship with them and so on. So we consider their opinion crucial to be taken into account. Okay, there will be a ranking list with 40 proposals where 30 of them will be funded and 10 will be in a reserve list. All of you will receive an evaluation summary result with the results, either an invitation to the incubation or a rejection letter. Important, we will be using the email of the contact person you have indicated in the application form. So please make sure that the person checks regularly the inbox. Okay, this is the timeline. February, the deadline for the submission of proposal, 22nd, remember. March, the communication of results. March, April, we have to work on the preparation of the subgrant agreement and the negotiation part, okay? And then in April, the REACH Explore kickoff will take place. Okay, so applications are open and you can apply now. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leire. So next up, I want to invite Matthias.
Yes, I'm here. Just give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. Is it okay? Perfect. So good morning, everyone. My name is Matthias. I'm responsible for business development and marketing at Incubator. And today I present the REACH toolbox as we are the leader of this part project. So I will give you a brief reminder about the purpose of the toolbox and the context in which it evolves. And I will rapidly introduce other organism. I don't know if it's on my side, but I hear some voices. Yes, I will rapidly introduce other organism and their products. I'm sorry in advance for my voice, but I'm a little sick still, and I will turn off my camera during the presentation because I want to have the best connection, internet connection, and to have your full intention on what I'll say. So just a minute. Okay, perfect. So just to remind the context, one of the main specific objective for the REACH project is to provide a toolbox for building secure and trusted data value chains. That means to provide the incubated startups with a set of ready-to-use tools for increasing trust and security in data sharing and exchange, using state-of-the-art technologies, including blockchain and tools for privacy components. So the incubation process will include a series of presentations and usage examples on these tools, as well as technical support in deploying them. So to meet this challenge, the REACH program provides a list of tools created and provided by 3 tool providers. So the French Alternative Energies and Atomic Energy Commission, the CEA, the Center for Research and Technology, HELES, the CERT, and us, GNUBILA. So this toolbox will help the subgrantees to use and share their data by covering 3 main aspects that I have already present during the first webinar, so I will define them quickly. We have privacy awareness, application security, and anonymization. So privacy awareness includes all practices.
Sorry, Matthias, I think the presentation is not going anywhere. We are seeing the first slide.
No, it's normal. It's my slide introduction. Sorry if you don't like it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So privacy awareness includes all practices, tools, and solutions that increase understanding of the importance of privacy issues and increase the respect of this principle in the business. For example, just practice like comply with regulations, and it helps people make the right decision about data disclosure by providing a level of sensitivity and risk associated with it. The second term is application security. It's about all processes, tools, and practices to protect applications and data from threats throughout the entire application lifecycle. So this is a way to ensure security in all kinds of application used by different internal or external stakeholders. And the last one is anonymization. It's a method to de-identify data from a large wide of sources, like databases, files, in order to minimize the risk of re-identification. And this method allows companies to use share this data, and obviously with actors who have the right to do so without derogating from the rules of privacy and the laws in force. So the objective of the REACH toolbox is to provide solutions, a tool aligned with these three aspects, as they represent a solid basis for trusted and secure innovative solutions based on industrial and personal data. So this was a quick reminder of the context. Now let's see rapidly the product of each tool provider. We can identify 3 main categories in which the 8 products that are present can be included and meet the challenge and the requirement of the toolbox. So privacy enhancing, data governance and smart contracts, and trusted data sharing and auditing. So the first two products are Feder Anonymizer and Primacy. So the first one, Feder Anonymizer from Nebula, is a data masking solution. So this product addresses an important need for the identification and protection of sensitive information. So with its features, Anonymizer supports businesses on complex issues related to personal data management, regulatory compliance, and cyber threats. And operatively, this is a solution for creating de-identification profiles, ranging from pseudonymization to anonymization, but also to re-identification in case of health data. It allows developers also to create anonymized or synthetic production datasets. For Primacy, so the product from the CEA, the French Institute of Research, the code security and privacy verifier, so this is the name of the tools, is based on Primacy, and it is an open source code analysis platform that provides static analysis, runtime verification, and program proving capabilities for programs written in the C language. And so Primacy allows an engineer to verify the compliance of the source code with regard to the data protection rules. I put all the contact details at the end of the presentation. For the second category, data governance and smart contract, we have 4. So ProRegister from Nebula, it is a new generation tool which allows a third-party tool to share and store its log inside a blockchain in order to ensure the incorruptibility of them. It is a privacy-compliant blockchain permission private solution based on the open source Ledger Fabric projects. So by its design, ProRegister can be seen as a secure audit trail and can be used as a proof in many different use cases. It is a product in development, but at this stage, it is a functional solution to keep the record for the traceability, monitoring, and control of the data between multiple organizations of the same platform. And furthermore, ProRegister automates, tracks, and controls the application of individual and data protection rights. The second product, Blockchain as a Service from ITI CERT. It is a blockchain solution which allows the secure integration of web cloud platforms with private Ethereum blockchain, with an aim to enable efficient permission management as regards the data of the platform users. And it is adapted for companies developing a web cloud platform that manages users' data and using a blockchain network with deployed Solidity smart contracts as they handle the permission that the users of the platform give to the other users. The third one is the data sharing platform from the CERT2. It is a platform designed integrated into blockchain as a service for enabling the data sharing and data permission management using also proposed smart contract hierarchy. So the platform tackles also with the problem of data integrity verification, which lies under the data quality issue that should be addressed by the REACH toolkit. And the last one is audit messages storage. So this is also a CERT product. It is a tool that enables the storage of audit messages in the blockchain. It also provides an explorer user interface, which enables retrieval of the stored messages using several searching criteria, as well the validation of the integrity of the messages. And for the last category, we have 2 products from the CA, Max and Y3. So Max Multi-Agent Experimenter is an agent-based simulator for blockchain applications building. a tool for rapid prototyping of industrial cases and doing feasibility analysis in a realistic manner. So it includes a model library to simulate the behavior of various blockchain systems, and it also allows to validate design hypotheses related to properties such as scalability, security and resilience, performance, and finding the right configuration for the design, such as the right parameter values. And the last one, by free, so smart contract formal verifier. So this product can be used to verify that the smart contract follow the behavior envisioned by its creator. So this behavior is expressed through formal specifications. And since it exists numerous smart contract language, CI choose to use an existing framework, Y3, used for proving algorithm. So the main advantage is to already benefit from state-of-the-art ways to specify and prove the correctness of the program. So if you're interested in one of these solutions, do not hesitate to connect with the people associated with each product. So if you want more detail, just connect with the key people. If it missed some people, sorry, you can just ask some question in the chat, and they will give you their contact details too. So I hope it was clear, even if we have only 10 minutes, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mathis. It was quite informative overview of all the tools available.
Thank you.
So I would like to invite Biro from Migros to overview their data provider as well as the challenge they're presenting.
Hello, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So, first of all, I would like to welcome the participants to the webinar. My name is Birol Yüceoğlu, and today I represent Migros, one of the data providers for the REACH project. We have been also involved in the EDI project, the previous iteration of the REACH project. Today I will talk about our company first and the challenges that we defined for the REACH project. I would like to put them into the umbrella of data-driven inventory management. We will try to tackle inventory management problem from different perspectives. But first, let me introduce the company. Migros is one of the largest FMCG retailers in Turkey. It's present in all the cities in Turkey with more than 2,000 stores. We have 45,000 employees, 1,500 suppliers, and we, together with the 13 million loyalty card holders, we reach 90% of the households in Turkey. Migros is also one of the pioneers in innovation in retailing. We were the first, one of the first companies in Turkey to have a data warehouse. We were, I believe, third company in the world to try a self-service cash register. We also introduced online grocery retailing in Turkey in 1998 through our online sales channel. And we have been expanding our contact with customers ever since. Today, I would like to talk about inventory management problem in retail. And the nice thing about the retail is that every one of us is a customer, so we don't have to talk about those concepts from scratch. We all experience such topics. The problem I'm going to talk about is inventory management and stock out. So when you go to a supermarket and you cannot find a product on the shelf, it's called a stock out. Either the product is not in the shop, or it can be in the warehouse, in the back office, but not on the shelf. So when studies show that 7 to 25% of the customers, when faced with a stock out, they do not buy a substitute product, and these numbers depend on the product categories. Furthermore, 21 to 43% of the customers, when faced with a stock out, they will go to another store. Stockouts represent 4% of the sales in retailing, and it creates a bad word of mouth for your company as well. So that problem has to be tackled. The way to manage the inventory, and that's more or less a standard practice, is doing regular audits on the inventories at the store. So, for example, at some point in time, you make a physical audit, you count the products, and you correct the digital records. And after that, there are several transactions that can be sales, customers buying products, customers returning products. Some products may be shipped to your stores, and some products may disappear. They can be damaged, lost, stolen, and so on. And when this type of transactions occur, you start to lose track of your real physical inventory. And after some time, you have to correct that by counting the products again, and that creates a huge effort. The main issue in that topic is the difference between recorded inventory and the physical inventory. In the recorded inventory, you gather data from your point of sales, so you know the transactions occurring in the store, and you know how many products you sold at a specific time. You also know about the shipments, how many items you received from your warehouse or from your suppliers, and you also keep track of the manual audits, and you know when the inventory, the recorded inventory, was correct compared to the physical inventory. However, when you only look at the recorded inventory, you start to see your shelf as in this picture. So it's, you always have inventory, you always keep products in your store. However, in real life, there can be several things that disturbs your inventory process. For example, there can be human errors. Instead of sending 10,000 products, a warehouse can send only 100 products by mistake. There is also shrinkage, and I put this term as a general concept. In some products, shrinkage may mean actual shrinkage, products losing water and having less weight, for example, for fresh produces. It can be stolen, it can be damaged, it can even be lost in the warehouse or in the store. And when you only look at your physical recorded inventory, you start to see your shelves like this. However, in the actual store, it might look like that because even though the inventory is in the records, it's not in the store. So considering this, we defined 3 challenges to tackle the inventory management problem. Inventory management problem using data. The first challenge is about predicting stockouts using data. In that case, considering sales patterns, product shipment patterns, can we detect when the products were not available on the shelf, so that we can immediately have some remedy for that to avoid this. In the second challenge, we would like to estimate the inventory accuracies. So which products have a bad accuracy in terms of the difference between physical inventory and recorded inventory. And we would like to create an audit plan for the products that will have high inaccuracy so that we can correct the inventory amount. And in the third challenge, we would like to estimate inventory shrinkage. Again, it might be related to natural processes. It might be related to losing products in store, theft or damage. But we would like to have an estimate on the inventory shrinkage so that we can decide, the decision makers can decide on which products to put a special effort to track. So this is our challenges, and I wish you all good luck. I don't know, Alexander, if we can take some questions if there are any, or maybe we can also wait.
So thanks, Birol. I do invite everyone to write them in the chat, especially address them to Migros, and then we'll either answer them in chat or in the Q&A afterwards in order for us to keep in line with the agenda.
Yeah.
So that's okay with everyone. Let's do it.
Yeah,
like
I try to be on time.
awesome. Thank you. So
Thank you, and good luck again for everyone participating in our challenge.
Awesome. So next up, I would like to invite Vincenzo from Idea 75 to showcase what they're up to and what their challenge is about.
Yeah, hello, good morning, everyone. I will share my screen.
We can see it.
Okay, perfect. So again, good morning, everyone, and thank you for taking part in this webinar organized by the REACH project. As Idea 75, we are placed to contribute, and we hope that our intervention would give a general insight on the project and would create a specific interest in the second open call. Let's start with a few words about our company. You can always find out more on our website. Idea 75 is a company of Links Management Technology Group since June of this year. It provides innovative solutions for process optimization and energy efficiency with regards to industrial and commercial scenarios. We make large use of Industry 4.0 technologies like data analytics, cloud, artificial intelligence, IoT, and automation, of course. Our value proposition go through customers' part, through their digitalization process, starting from the analysis of customers' needs, which are not always easy to detect, to the research of found opportunities, of course, and the creation of specific R&D projects which will benefit from our large R&D networks of academical and business partners. We reach the prototyping, testing, and validation of the technological solutions that we help to develop and guide our customer through the industrialization process. In the last year, we've gained a significant expertise with those and projects focused on Industry 4.0, ICT engineering, research and development, and industrial process optimization and energy efficiency. In which project we want to share a specific data set that we managed to collect from a manufacturing scenario. So we choose to provide a large data set of milling plant energy consumption derived from a special project we made with one of our most important partners, which is a milling company. The dataset covers 1 year of measurements with a rhythm of 1 measure per minute. The devices monitored are a standalone production machine or group of machines. Over 3,000 devices were monitored, but we decided to give access to a subset of these devices, which belong to a specific milling plant located in the south of Italy. We provide 4 kinds of parameters, as you can see in the slide: active power, current, active energy, and voltage for each device monitored. So in a rich ecosystem, we talk about 4 separated data sets, but you can always, you can easily understand that they are strictly related, of course. In this slide, you can find also an example of the dataset which we will provide in CSV files. The first round, the first upper call has been a test bench for us, but we have received positive feedbacks and good results. Here you can find the 3 challenges, one ready-made and 2 grouped sub-challenges. They both consider the same dataset as starting point and validation tool. Each challenge describes a realistic manufacturing scenarios, starting from the main problem we have detected and opening a possible solution to solve them. Of course, its participants had complete freedom to interpretation or proposition on its own solution. The explore phase was really intense for us. Many candidates chose our challenges, and we were really happy for this, meaning that the problem focused are of common interest, and of course, there is a way to propose different solutions. Only 5 teams had access to this phase. Of them, just 1 team qualified for the next stage. During experiment phase, we gave our continuous support for further design and development of the solution proposed by a company named Big Data. Eventually, we meet in Bilbao for the final touches and pitches. Even though Big Data was not selected to go to the next stage, we think that the experience was really interesting and very important from a business point of view. For the second open call, we decided to propose a new challenge, substituting old challenge 1. The new challenge, which you find on the left of this slide, is about the creation of an intuitive and easy to stop tool for plant energy monitoring and efficient management. We want to focus the needs of small medium enterprises in a manufacturing sector that need to cope with digital transition in the most convenient way for their business and daily operations. So a good user experience is the main aspect we want to pursue with a course of analytical algorithm and the base of data processing and decision support. Let's end up with some suggestions for new participants of this round. As other colleagues said, keep complete with challenges goal. It's okay to propose some work you have already done in your company, but try to adapt them to challenge requirements. Design your solution considering end users first, because we want to approach digital transformation in a friendly manner for each company targeted. Pay always great attention to data processing algorithm selection. This is very important for us. In the last round, we really talked many times about algorithm choosing. And last, consider the use of artificial intelligence too, but with a specific target to the dataset consider. We want something that is very specific for our senior, for manufacturing sector, and in more detail with the energy consumption dataset that we provide. So good luck again to everyone, and we hope to collaborate to win this challenge together. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincenzo. So this wraps up with the 2 data providers that we brought to showcase their own data challenges. I want to remind everyone present that we have a variety of data challenges and data value chains on the website, so do check that out. So now I would like to invite Oscar. So Oscar, do tell us a little bit about your experience in Reach, from the application stage all the way to the final event at Slush, your experience, maybe tips and tricks, and anything else you have in mind that would be useful for new applicants.
Okay, thanks a lot. Hello everyone, my name is Oscar. I'm coming from a company called Cropped from Novi Sad, Serbia. We are the round 1 winners I'm bragging on about it intensively in the past 2 weeks from when we got the awards and the Moomin, which was the special award at Slush. So let me start from the beginning. So we applied for REACH, so it was almost a year ago. And the main reason why we applied for this incubator is that it actually provided a lot of funding for a small startup like ours. I think that, well, actually funding was what brought us in here, but like looking back from this perspective, what really mattered for us and what brought the most value for our company was actually mentoring, learning new things, developing business models, contacting with investors, with fellow startups, with our peers. And it was a magnificent experience, I must say. Actually, I like this kind of stage approach of the program because we started with, I think, 184 startups, and then the selection got to 30. So we first needed to develop the business model, then we needed to develop MVP, then we needed to promote our solution, and lastly, we need to showcase what the effects of this solution were. The program is conceptualized in a way that you go from the beginning, from the idea, you start from the problem, and then you go step by step. First, you kind of think of the technology that you're going to apply, you think of the business model that you're going to have, and then at a later stage, you narrow it down further. You speak to the data provider, you collaborate actively with the people who need your solution. So you get more domain knowledge from the field that in which you're solving a problem until you get to the very solution in the end. So everything was followed by great mentors from REACH who helped us better define the business model, who helped us with our pitching skills, with the presentation, what to emphasize, what is less important, how to be concise, how to approach a data provider, how to speak to the partners, to investors, to clients, etc. But what I think the biggest, what differs, distinguishes REACH from other incubators is the presence of the data provider, which is somebody who actually needs the solution. So there is this kind of industrial pool which is matched by your expertise. So I see there are 83 people on this call, so probably there are a lot of specialists with a lot of knowledge. But the problem with us engineers is that we tend to solve problems that don't exist. So here in REACH Incubator, we had a data provider that had a problem that they were aware of. And then they also had a data that they knew had the value. And when you mix those two together, our expertise and then their needs, you end up with the solution that the industry actually needs. So that's something that I find really attractive with REACH Incubator, and one of the reasons why I would encourage you all to take part here and to try to solve some of the industry's biggest problems using data. I could, in my previous life, I did a lot of teaching at university, so I could talk for ages, but it might be better if somebody has got a question that they could ask us, they could ask, so I can tell maybe something in more detail.
So may I start with this? Perhaps if you remember your application, any tips on this? Because the applicants or the viewers here are in the application stage right now. And it's important to stand out from all the, like you said, 184 applicants last year. So anything that you can point out in particular?
Well, I'll be brutally honest here, because our startup was founded 2 years ago. It was June 2019, and the first proposal that we needed to write was actually quite painful for us, because we need to sit down and think about what we want to do, think about the market, think about a business model, think about the technology that we want to employ. So the first proposal that we wrote was especially hard for us, but then the second was a little bit less hard because we knew what we wanted to do and we already had some text to scrap, and we did a bit of Control-C, Control-V. But when we got to reach Incubator, we realized that the application actually and the thing that our data provider asked us to do actually aligns quite well with what we had in mind. So we already had some materials from which we could start, but then we also needed to make this application quite concise and to the point, because when you're talking to industrial partners and when you have the business jury on the other side, you want to be as concise as possible. And when you're talking about technical things, it's important to speak about them more from the perspective of their value than from the perspective of concrete algorithms you're going to use. There are like two types of thoughts. One is, let's say, continental European, and the other is American, or like a more pragmatic one. So me coming from academia and having a PhD, I'm always thinking first about the technology that I'm going to use, and then I'm going like bottom up. So I've got this technology, so what can I do with it? Okay, can I use it here to solve the data provider's problem, etc. But I think that's like typical European continental stream of thought, whereas the entrepreneurial, the American one or pragmatic one would be top down, which would be like, okay, what's the problem? So how can I solve it? What's my value proposition? And then, okay, I'm going to solve it using these particular algorithms, and you go to the bottom. And I think this kind of stream of thought is also depicted, for example, in the legal systems, where you've got the European continental legal system and the Anglo-Saxon legal system. Here in continental Europe, you would start from the laws and then go all the way to a particular case, whereas in the Anglo-Saxon law, you would have particular cases and then have some sort of like bottom line to everything. And there's also like induction versus deduction. So it's like watching those tally advertisements, like when you got like, okay, so this is my brilliant, what was that? Let's say pan. There was this, I think it was called dry cooker. So this is dry cooker. It cooks your cookies quite well. They're well tasting. The dough is really good when it's baked like that, and it works on these principles. So you're not actually starting from the principles. You're starting from what the solution does, and then from that you're going to the principles. So, and also when you write the application, bear in mind that the person on the other side is not necessarily an expert in neither AI nor the domain for which your solution is. So you need to state the problem quite well, and you need to state why your solution provides value and why your solution is unique.
Thank you, Oscar. Thanks.
This was a bit more philosophical maybe, but I hope you got a point. Yeah.
I do want to wrap up on your words and redirect people to the guidelines of applicants, where strict evaluation criteria are indicated. So if you're asking yourself, what are you being judged on, relate to this document, and it will give you additional information on what you should emphasize for sure. And
also my advice would be to actually start from these criteria because criteria are well known. So my like beginner's mistake was that I first write the proposal and then I see, okay, does this fall into the criteria? But that's actually the wrong way to do it. So first you should see the criteria, and then you should always have these criteria in mind. When you're writing the proposal, you always need to have somewhere at the back seat of your head that somebody is going to score your application according to, for example, excellence, the validity of the business model, value, etc. I don't know these criteria by heart, but that's something to bear in mind.
Great, Oscar. Thank you so much. We wish you the brightest future, and
thank you
for joining and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure to speak here, and I'll be happy to speak more with you at some later stage. And of course, I would like to thank you, thank the organizers, the Reach Incubator, and all the organization that participated from the organizer side. I think this was a really big thing for our company, and this was a way to climb up the ladder in the development of our startup. And I think we learned quite a lot. And this knowledge is actually what's most valuable and what we took from this project.
Thank you again. So,
thanks,
everyone. All right, so Q&A session starts now, but I do want to refer you back to the two emails. So info@reachincubator.eu and the open call. So open call at reachincubator.eu is if you want to reach out to us with additional questions. But now for the next 30 minutes, let's try, if anyone has any questions, please post them in the chat, and the partners and I will try to answer them as clear as possible. If there are any questions that we cannot answer, we'll please ask you to send them over. Again, we are open call at reachincubator.eu. And we'll give it a thorough approach over email. So let's give it 30 minutes for this, and I'm sorry, but we'll have to cap it at 30 minutes. So please in the chat, and I'll read them out loud one by one if they were not already answered. And yeah, so we have a question from Vala. Is there a possibility to have more data sets from data providers in the next stages if our proposal gets selected? For example, can Migros provide a further data set in the next stage from their logistic and sales data? So, anyone here that would like to answer from the partners?
Diego from Deusto. Additional data sets are always welcome. They are, in fact, most welcome. They are highly valued because, after all, the final aim of this project is to demonstrate that we can cross-link multi-sectorial data sets. So I think that the answer is a clear yes. Depending on the track chosen, the requirements of that track have to be fulfilled. So, for instance, if you go to track 2, you need definitely to tackle the challenge proposed by the data provider and make use of that data set. But nobody forbids you from actually incorporating other data sets, which are open data or even private data, as long as you have the rights to access and exploit them.
Thank you, Diego. Question from Max. Is the solution supposed to be a standalone product, or can it be a part of existing solution that we're already working on in our startup? So I would imagine the product can be an already existing one, and you can also come up with a new one. Both application forms and the proposals are very well accepted, as long as they tackle all the criterias and address the challenges that are defined in the guidelines for applicants.
Yes, here the important thing is that you have to address the interest of the data providers. Okay, you have to propose solutions or technology to be solving the problems the data provider has.
Yeah, so I would like to add, do take into consideration the stages of our program, because they will give you an indicative time frame which you work with. With this in mind, this will definitely tell you where your product should be at and how much time do you have to achieve what is asked of you. So next question from Calliope. If the product is an existing one, can we include it in the submission if it already has a commercial use? So I would say yes, as long as you're updating it with additional things that you're proposing in the proposal, as well as ways you're addressing the way the challenge is. So we have a question. Does it make sense to apply if we develop a SaaS for data analysis, but we don't own the data? However, we utilize public data. Later, this one's for you. So I'll try to answer. So in each of the tracks, it's important that you target a data provider's challenge. So in the track 1 and track 2, you're addressing the challenges from our data provider and digital innovation hubs, which have provided a memorandum understanding to us. But if you're bringing your own data provider, they have to bring their own. They have to sign a memorandum understanding, meaning there has to be at least one data provider that you're bringing, in addition to an opportunity for you to use public data. Did I get it right, Diego? Or later?
Yes, here, okay, in track 3, the data provider must be the owner of the data, okay? If you apply to this track, you have to, the important thing is that the applicant has the access in processing the rights to the data in compliance with the data protection regulations. And you are open to include open data from other sources, okay? I know if the answer to the question, but.
So anyone else have questions or have we missed any from before I wasn't following?
Yes, Alec, there was a question from Bastian.
Let's find it.
Previous question.
It out?
Is there a minimum team size? Does it need to be at least 2 FTE? Or can it also be solopreneurs with demonstrated traction and the ambition to scale their company at a later stage? Okay, I think I can answer this question. We are looking for teams or SMEs or startups that have enough expertise, okay, to develop their solutions. So if the startup of the team is able to demonstrate this expertise, okay, this is positive for the proposal.
In other words,
yes, here, sorry, no, go ahead, Alex.
European Commission does not prefer funding companies that subcontract. This indicates that you lack capacities and then you will hire someone else. So they'll rather fund people with capacities and experience. And there's a section in the application form where you will talk about people involved and their the amount of time they are involved in the project. So this will be evaluated as well.
Yes, as I said before, the evaluation is not the same for a really consolidated company than for a company which is recently created. So as long as you can prove you have the capacity to develop the product and you have a business strategy, we encourage you to participate.
So moving on to the next question from Mattia. Hi guys, there are participation limitations for startup already in Horizon. Oh, this is the one that we just addressed? Or not? Reach could help us on data improvement, AI development. Meanwhile, H21, 27 support all the rest. I'm not understanding this question. Does anyone understand this question? Or I invite
Me
Matteo?
neither.
Hi, Alec. I think they're asking if they're already taking part in another incubation program. Maybe.
So if that is the case, so we only have a limitation on startups that have been accepted in I4Trust. All other projects, funding by other projects is totally fine by us.
Yeah, indeed. I think, yeah, that's the only limitation we have for trust, because it belongs to the same topic as ours.
Yes.
Can the research center apply to the Reach Open Call?
Not only small and medium enterprises and startups as
So-
beneficiaries. Okay.
Established companies. Cool. On the topic of Matthias, so double funding is also something that we is frowned upon. So if we realize that the proposal or the experiment you're proposing is copy pasted fully from another project, we won't fund you. In some of our teammates be from other countries outside of Europe. I imagine yes, as long as the company is established in the EU or Horizon 2020 associated countries.
Yeah.
So there's an atypical question. We have an external data provider, but we would like to be mentor or co-apply or partner with A75. So there's an opportunity for this. The way I see it is, if you have multiple data providers solving, can be involved in a data value chain, this is good for you. Because if you remember at the beginning of the webinar, we were talking about a data value chain. So my recommendation is if you can combine them, this will serve you best. However, if you, for example, send 2 applications, only one can be submitted, admitted or
Yes.
accepted. Yeah, I think that this answers your question. So the question from Brian. But can you ask this in a question form? This in particular. So the idea of Reach is to apply against the data sets and the data challenges or themes proposed. If you're not doing so, you're bringing your own data provider and you're addressing their own challenge. Next question by Calliope. So if we have multiple eligible data providers, I suppose they will all need to fill in a separate MOU. Yes, that's the case. Question by Max. Regarding data collection in the value chain, is our solution supposed to collect data from sensors, firmware, OS, or can we assume data is collected somewhere and we receive requested and deal with it in our own solution? In other words, do we have to build data capturing technology, or should we say data is being captured, we're using it in this specific way?
Well, I think the answer is that you have to guarantee that you have access to the data sets. If you are using any of the Reach provided data sets, we will ensure that you get access direct to the actual data sets. If you bring your own data provider and there is adaptation that needs to be done, this is something you should negotiate with this external data provider. In that case, you might need to also do some development for that.
Thank you. Next question by Haluk. We like to know, is there assisting about big data or future autonomous cities and create pilots for tests? So best to answer this question is there are a lot of services, webinars, mentorships around your particular case available in the program, as well as there are suitable challenges in the website. So we try to be specific to your own problems when we can. And our mentors will do so as well in particular. Anyone else has questions? Going once, going twice. Last call. Second last call. All right, I'll take this as there are no other questions. Again, thanks everyone for coming. To remind, these are the information on the website that you can reach us. If you have any questions, let us know.